Good morning. We're here at Network Effect with the Global Dollar Network. I'm Andy Baehr, head of product and research at CoinDesk Indices. I'm here with Ahmed Zifzaf, the head of crypto partnerships at WorldPay. Good morning. Nice to have you. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for having me. Really excited about it.
WorldPay, I've learned a little bit about it in prep, but it's not a brand name. I don't see it on the shelf at the store. So maybe, and I know it's a huge company, fill the audience in on what WorldPay does and how big it is and how long it's been doing what it's doing.
Yeah, for sure. WorldPay is one of the largest global merchant acquirers in the world. We do about over $2 trillion in payment volume a year. So you can think about it as when you go to a grocery store and you pay with your credit card, that 1 second before that payment is processed, in the background it's WorldPay often, or companies like WorldPay, processing that payment and making sure that it's all going smoothly, without fraud, effectively. So you can really view us as sort of a cornerstone of the whole payments, traditional payments sort of system in Rails.
I understand. And so crypto partnerships, they must have, you must be in a little corner spot there. Everybody's looking, what's Ahmed doing over there, right? Because it's quite a departure from the normal business.
Yeah, I would say so. I really like to view it as where a lot of like the innovation or the view of blockchain kind of sits within my team. So everything in regards to how do we deploy stable coins when we do cross-border payments? What types of assets do our customers sort of like, will they want to use? And how do we really pilot that and show them how effective it is? So a lot of what I get to do is look at the future of payments and see how we can basically create a really great experience for our merchants.
Is your mindset more, I'm going to build this and it's going to be great and people will use it? Or are you feeling the draw, the gravity of like, there is demand coming in and if we don't meet this soon, we're going to fall behind?
The really neat part about being the head of crypto partnerships is that we get to do a lot of things with partners. So it's a lot of it is not that WorldPay has to go on its own island and develop what it thinks the future will look like. We can work with great companies like Paxos or Anchorage and the likes of Solana and sort of all of these marquee blockchain companies to deliver the best solution quickly. If it doesn't work, our merchants don't like it, it's not that we've failed. It's like we've experimented and now we can iterate. We can look into the future and sort of keep innovating on that technology.
That's fantastic. I wish parts of my business were more like that, where you could go in as a team and get consensus before and not just try to guess or try to predict. Actually, to that point of partnerships, WorldPay recently joined Global Dollar Network, very recently. So what led that decision? I mean, that's a choice to make, right? There are other networks or there are other stable coins you can attach to. This is very specific, although it has a great roster of members. What led to the decision and what do you hope to get out of it in the near term?
Yeah, I think when we view the Global Dollar Network, the consortium model, we just believe is going to be a really great way to really gain the benefits of this technology. So the idea that you can have an asset, a new currency essentially is kind of how we view it, a new thing that you can settle on, a new thing you can pay with. But it only works if people are using it. And for us, we're very enterprise oriented. So when we see the roster that you mentioned and we saw the vision that the Global Dollar Network had, we just knew that WorldPay would be a great fit. A lot of our customers will probably join the network. A lot of our customers are already on the network. So you can really view this as a flywheel of growth in terms of what we're able to do with this types of asset, with this type of technology. And it's already embedded within an ecosystem that we're already playing in.
That's great. Looking forward, you're going to have to serve a lot of customers, many of whom choose their own stable coin. So this has to be a technological thing, not just putting all your chips on USDG or any one particular stable coin, correct?
I would say so. It's also very early in sort of in the market cycle. So it's not that we will ever really choose our own stablecoin or pick one stablecoin. We want to be able to offer the best solutions for our merchants. They view us as the payments experts, so we want to be able to bring the best technology and sort of best assets to them in their payment workflows. So that's really how we view it. But we'll only work with sort of the best companies out there, the best sort of vision and sort of products out there.
Right. So standards are important. I liked your example earlier of going into the grocery store and somewhere in that chain of events between me tapping my card and the store having their receivable fulfilled, there's a WorldPay event in there. Part of that's going to be like, well, guess what? My payment is coming from a place where I have stable coins and the merchant wants dollars, right? So is the translation, is the conversion of that going to be part of what you offer, or where is that in the chain?
Yeah, there's really like sort of endless possibilities now that things are, native online and what we can do with that. So being able to swap between currencies, being able to offer a wide variety of currencies sort of instantaneously. If you think about payments today, a lot of it sort of takes time because it's stuck in sort of this traditional mindset where there's public holidays and there's
Right.
like banking hours and things like this. That doesn't really exist online and doesn't really exist within this infrastructure. So we believe that, the future looks like programmable money moves into programmable treasuries. You can instantaneously use smart contracts in a way that you could never really do in the traditional sense and how we view payments.
Right. So you can continue your processes on chain continuously, and then when you need to off chain them to fulfill a certain thing. So that's maybe far in the future, but nearer in the future, you'll be able to serve those merchants in the way that they want to be served, and maybe the merchants want to receive stable coins instead of dollars.
Yeah.
In certain jurisdictions. Jurisdictions wise, the regulatory situation around the world is new. It's changing very quickly. And it has a lot of variation between Europe and places like Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan, the United States. That must be a lot of work to keep track of all those things and think about what you'll be allowed to do, as well as tracking demand. How big a team, like what kind of resources are you applying to that?
The lucky part is that this is not new for a company like WorldPay. Like
Right.
we've dealt in the business of applying for licenses, advising on regulatory sort of policy. This is all sort of bread and butter. The teams are like massive, and they've been massive for a while. So they've been very integrated, I would say, into the sort of policy and keeping abreast of the latest regulations. And we like to play that role of expert in payments regulation because our customers look at us as, you're the one-stop shop for all of our payments globally.
Right.
You need to kind of advise us on where to be, how to be. And this is sort of just the next iteration where it is new policies. Like every day in the U.S., it's something's changing. So you kind of have to be adaptable.
Right, and certainly the velocity has picked up in the United States recently. I think, if you had basically mapped out your goals, your KPIs, right, 6 or 12 months ago, they might be quite different from how they are now. How are you gearing up for that? Is it just like, more resources, all hands on deck, let's go? Because things are going to be decided soon, it seems, right?
Yeah, I would say so. So, I mean, it's interesting because WorldPay has been in the crypto industry for about 10 years now, primarily offering the ability for crypto companies to use fiat. So being able to purchase crypto with your typical traditional credit card, debit card, ACH, all of that sort of fun stuff. But now with sort of the velocity that you're describing, we can now start to look into doing more advanced sort of technological applications within blockchain. So like that for me is very exciting. My team is growing. We get to work on very like blockchain native applications within payments. And I think if you look at the crypto sphere as a whole, it's very interested in PayFi and how do we use cross-border as a method of really increasing adoption of this type of technology. So I think it's just the beginning, certainly.
I love it. And I mean, from the point of view of trying to establish digital assets as an investment asset class, this seems to be the clearest use of blockchain. All these stable coins have to settle on a layer one at some point, right? And so whether that's Ethereum or Solana or another layer one blockchain, it helps educate people about the use case. So I think it's definitely important that this news gets out and that people are aware. I guess last question, do you ultimately, in the end state, is there going to be a sense of interaction with a stablecoin with an end user, or does all of this get abstracted in the background and people just think dollars or whatever other currency?
Yeah, I think the future there'll be a type of consumer or type of enterprise that will want to interact with stables directly, that wants to know about the technology, wants to innovate on it. And I think there'll be a user who just cares about the digital dollar ending up in an account that looks like a bank account, whether it's a crypto wallet or not. I think for us, we want to be able to provide sort of that spectrum of possibilities. And then as the market becomes mature, as people are getting paid in stablecoin in their payroll and you can go and pay with it everywhere, I'm sure it becomes more and more sort of ubiquitous with our normal behavior. So I think the possibilities are endless.
That's quite a different world from now. Ahmed, it was great talking with you. We'll see you later on the panel, and thanks for coming in.
Amazing. Thank you so much.